If you had told me that Spy Kids 3 was a dramatic step down in quality from the first two, I'd be like, what do you mean? It's not a particularly high standard to reach, and I couldn't imagine it'd be hard to replicate, the same quality. It looks like shit. Basically, the whole thing is filmed in a green screen when the technology was nowhere near good enough to facilitate what they're trying to show.
And then they reference it, like, as if to make it okay. He, like, gets and knocks on the floor and it's like, low res. I'm like,
and what I scoured the internet looking for answers to, Carmen is barely in the film. It's all Junie's story. The parents aren't in it. A bunch of the characters aren't in it until the, like, final scene, except for Grandpa. Grandpa, for some reason, was the character they were like, yep, he's going to be the buddy to Junie in this film. And so Grandpa has a huge role in it. I Googled, did Alexa Vega have scheduling conflicts and all this sort of thing to try and find out why she was... Because I was like, there's got to be a reason for it. Surely it's not a creative decision to just not have her in much of the film. I couldn't find anything.
The Grandpa's not even in it that much. He just turns up every now and again with a fucking butterfly on his hand, and it's just like, here you go, Junie, here's some help. And then just goes away again. He's just not there anymore.
It does really feel like there was some sort of weird backroom deal where the grandpa was like, you know what? I feel like I'm not being utilized, and I have a very high idea of myself, so unless you make me basically the main character and cut out one of the kids almost entirely, I refuse to come back for Spy Kids 3.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they were like, no, we can't lose Grandpa, so they did.
Well, they needed him for the amazing ending, for the original Avengers Endgame ending.
Someone please re-edit the ending of Spy Kids 3 to have the Portals theme.
So I'm glad that we're talking about the ending of Spy Kids 3D Game Over, because this has got to be one of the worst third acts I've ever seen in a film. Like, comparative to the rest of the film and its predecessors, right? Again, the whole film, or a lot of the film, is filmed on green screen, including the third act where they're not in the video game anymore. Actors who are very clearly not in the same room as each other run out into the street, which is there's no one walking around. There's no one, like, there's no bystanders or anything. It's just a completely empty street, and there's, like, no spatial awareness. You don't know how far away the giant robots are from the characters. And, like, there's this one part where one of the giant robots picks up Carmen, and it opens its mouth to eat her, and then she quickly calls Gary Giggles, and it cuts away, and he gets a call. She's like, I need your help. And he's like, I'm there. And then it cuts back to Carmen, and he arrives. The robot's mouth is still open, slowly going, and meaning that either it's been doing that for, the bare minimum of however long it took Gary Giggles to get there, or he got there instantaneously. It's just a complete mess.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the best of times, I feel that the Spy Kids series is a bunch of dumb fun. There's a bunch of silly jokes and visually really intriguing ideas and concepts. And at its worst, it feels like it was written by some guy you hired off Fiverr because you really needed to just finish the script. You really needed to crank it out. They all stand in these green screens and talk to each other for a bit. And it feels like props to Robert Rodriguez, because he must be such a mule to be able to actually write all of that. If I was writing these films and I got into that many pages of dialogue at the climax, I'd be like, fuck, I'm giving up. This is too much information I need to convey.
The most double-bladed compliment I've ever heard. God, I really admire your work ethic, how you could just keep putting out shit.
Yeah.